I'm a private investigator. I've got some BS. As superior insight I have from the United States District Court, then District last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from in the small village of Dalton, Illinois. A political drama is unfolding that feels straight out of a reality show. At the center of the chaos is none other than Mayor Tiffany Henyard, whose controversial leadership, questionable decisions, and ongoing legal battles have thrown the town into turmoil. Think you've seen it all in politics? Think again. This story has it all: heated feuds, courtroom showdowns, public meltdowns, and a mayor who's even been labeled a dictator by some. Buckle up, because this political saga is just getting started. How did we get here? And why is the entire town of Dalton buzzing about Mayor Tiffany Henyard? Let's dive into the juicy details that have been making headlines for months. Trust us, this story is wilder than any political thriller you've ever seen. First off, Tiffany Henyard made history as Dalton's first female mayor, but it's not her groundbreaking leadership that's drawing attention. It's the whirlwind of controversy she's stirred up, from questionable appointments of top officials to lawsuits piling up. Henyard's time in office has been a nonstop roller coaster ride of drama, and the latest twist: she's now suing her own village trustees. Yes, you heard that right. Henyard is taking legal action against the very people she's supposed to be working with to govern the village body. Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is? What was it for? It was for showers. That's what it's for. The spark that ignited this firestorm was a chaotic village board meeting that quickly spiraled out of control. Picture this: Mayor Tiffany Henyard attempted to hold her own meeting at Village Hall, but when that fell apart, she didn't back down. In true traumatic fashion, she stormed over to another meeting being held at the Park District building run by the rest of the village trustees. And what was her welcome when she arrived? A full-blown chorus of boos from the crowd. Ouch. We get invoices, but those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get questions, answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just make user the right why. Were there two separate meetings in the first place? The Illinois Attorney General's office had ruled that Village Hall wasn't big enough to legally accommodate all the residents who wanted to attend, so the trustees moved their meeting to the Park District building to ensure everyone could fit. But Mayor Tiffany Henyard wasn't having it. She insisted on holding the meeting at Village Hall. When only two trustees showed up, her session quickly fell apart. The chaos only added fuel to the fire, and residents are growing increasingly frustrated after months of political infighting. The people of Dalton are fed up. Critics accuse Henyard of being power-hungry, running the village like a one-woman show. One frustrated resident even compared her to a cartoon character, saying it felt like something straight out of a wild TV show. She has not only embarrassed herself, but she has embarrassed the town of Dalton. She is acting like Timmy Turner with fairy godparents, using the town's money to make foolish and selfish moves. I have lived in Dalton for 30 years, and never have we been put in the spotlight like this. Please remove this child from office. Absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating, and if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt. And speaking of embarrassing moments, the public weighing at the Park District meeting wasn't just a mild disapproval, it was a full-blown rejection from the community. Residents turned their backs on Mayor Henyard, some even shouting her down as she tried to speak. Henyard, visibly frustrated, attempted to regain control by accusing the trustees of corruption and asserting that this was her meeting, but the crowd wasn't having it. After 7 painful minutes of trying to talk over the cheers, Henyard finally gave up and left. The tension between Henyard and the trustees has been brewing for a while, and it all boils down to one key issue: power. Henyard has been making major appointments to vital village physicians such as police chief, village administrator, and village attorney without getting the necessary board approvals. That's a major breach of protocol, and the trustees weren't about to let it slide. They took the matter to court, and the judge ruled in their favor, issuing a restraining order that blocked Henyard's appointments and forced her to get approval for any future decisions. The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would. But here's where things get even messier. Despite the judge's ruling, Henyard hasn't exactly been following the court's orders. In fact, she's been surrounding herself with the very people she's not supposed to be appointing, bringing them into Village Hall, and continuing to act as if she's still in full control. One of the trustees even accused her of daring the court to take action, almost like she's inviting the legal system to step in and do something. It feels like a game of political chicken with the court, and at this point, it's anyone's guess how it's going to end, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany. So how has Mayor Henyard responded to all this legal trouble in typical fashion? She's doubling down. She's filed a lawsuit challenging the legitimacy of the board's meetings, accusing the trustees of illegally holding them at the Park District. According to Henyard, Village Hall is the rightful place for these meetings, and she's seeking a court declaration that any business conducted outside a Village Hall is invalid. It's a bold move, especially considering the Attorney General's ruling about the venue size, but Henyard seems determined to maintain control at all costs now. We've been reporting unquestionable spending by a suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard, but we only knew half the on social media. Henyard has been actively trying to rally support, portraying herself as a leader under attack by corrupt officials. In one cryptic post, she wrote, "I need all my black sheep to stand with me," adding, "You are not alone. If God is for us, then who can be against us?" It's clear that Henyard views herself as a fighter battling not only the trustees, but also what she believes is a larger conspiracy against her, whether or not the residents of Dalton share her perspective is another story entirely. This lawsuit is just the latest chapter in a long saga of legal disputes that have plagued Dalton during Henyard's leadership. Allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and backdoor deals have raised serious concerns about how the village is being run. Federal investigators have even started to take notice, serving subpoenas to officials in both Taunton and Thoron, where Henyard also holds a leadership position. It seems that with every turn there's a new scandal or legal battle involving Henyard and her administration is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for. And just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, rumors are swirling that even more explosive revelations could be on the horizon. Insiders claim that federal authorities have been working behind the scenes, pressuring people close to Henyard to flip on her. The biggest bombshell: Henyard's boyfriend, once a key ally, is reportedly cooperating with investigators. If that's true, it could be a disaster for the embattled mayor. After all, if someone that close to her is willing to talk, who knows what secrets could come to light. One courtroom scene in particular has already become the stuff of legend. During a recent hearing, Henyard's boyfriend took the stand and allegedly spilled all sorts of incriminating details about the mayor's conduct. According to reports, he talked about private conversations, shady financial dealings, and even bribes that Henyard allegedly accepted from local businesses. At one point, the tension in the courtroom was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Henyard, visibly furious, reportedly interrupted the proceedings, yelling at her boyfriend and causing a scene. Witnesses described it as a complete meltdown, with the mayor losing her cool in front of everyone. "I guess anything else I get all the time. I get all the time." This courtroom drive has only intensified the criticism against Henyard, with her opponents now more convinced than ever that she's unfit to lead. Some are even calling for her immediate resignation, arguing that the town can't afford to have a mayor engulfed in so much controversy. Despite the mounting pressure, Henyard has shown no signs of backing down. She continues to deny all allegations, claiming it's part of a politically motivated attack orchestrated by her opponents. Henyard is positioning herself as the victim of a smear campaign, but whether the residents of Dalton will buy into that narrative remains to be seen. A one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is, one thing is clear: the people of Dalton have had enough. The endless drama, legal battles, and public infighting have thrown the town into turmoil. At recent meetings, frustrated residents have been vocal, with some even calling for an investigation into Henyard's handling of village funds. They want answers, and they want accountability. But with federal investigators now involved, it seems the situation is far from resolution. Adding to the chaos is the town's financial crisis. Dalton's finances are reportedly in disarray, with a report from former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot highlighting out-of-control spending. This financial mismanagement has only heightened residents' concerns, as they fear the village could be headed toward a full-blown disaster if major changes aren't made soon. Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 199. Despite the chaos, there are still those who find the entire situation somewhat amusing. One resident even joked, "I hope this keeps dragging out. She's the best clown show ever." For some, it's like watching a real-time reality show, with new drama unfolding every week. And with the next township meeting right around the corner, things are only bound to escalate further. So, what's next for Mayor Tiffany Henyard in the village of Dalton? Will she survive the growing calls for her resignation, or will the legal battles finally catch up to her? And what about the looming federal investigation? Could it bring new revelations that might end her political career? The residents of Dalton are watching closely, and so are we. This saga is far from over, and with each new development, the stakes only get higher. What do you think? Will Tiffany Henyard manage to hold on to power despite all the controversy? Or is her downfall inevitable, and are the trustees really the heroes in this story? Or is there more than meets the eye? Share your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for the next chapter.